So the first question that we got was, is it okay to be friends with someone who uses cannabis even if you don't use it?
Speaking for myself as a parent, I think the short answer is yes. But I think it's important to understand perhaps what it is that your friend is using in terms of the strength, how often they're using. Are they pressuring you to use? And are there signs that this person might be using cannabis as a coping mechanism for another struggle? Or is it possible that they're using so much that you think it's a concern?
Hmm. That makes sense. So if cannabis was completely legal, would you as a parent ever let your kids use it?
If cannabis were completely legal, it would be legal for those 21 and older, just like alcohol. And I would want to make sure that my kids were fully aware of what they had their hands on and understand the risks of excessive cannabis use or of cannabis use of very high concentrates. And make sure that they had that understanding so that they can make their own decision when they're 21 whether or not to use it.
How has cannabis affected your child and how has it affected you and your family?
Cannabis essentially devastated my family. Uh, my son started using cannabis as, I believe, a coping mechanism, but with his use came increased frequency and increased potency to the point where he became dependent on continued use. And with that continued use, his behavior became very erratic, a lot of lying, a lot of erratic behavior. And that led us to the point where we realized it was very clear that he needed inpatient treatment for substance use disorder. But prior to that, his use had completely devastated my family, created total chaos within my household. And this interruption in his life, if you will, really changed our plans and expectations for what his future was going to look like. And it's taken our family quite some time to rebuild
Mhm.
as he has embraced recovery.
I was just wondering if how his recovery journey has gone so far, like how he is now.
I'm proud to say that my son's recovery has gone well. It was rocky at the beginning, as most are, but he responded well eventually to inpatient treatment and an extended stay at a sober living facility. And he is in a community with a very vibrant AA community. And he takes a very active role in his own recovery while also going to school and working part time.
Nice. Glad to hear that. Have you ever used cannabis?
I have not. When I was a young person, I was not exposed, nor was I pressured to use it. And at this point, regardless of whether it's legal or not, I've essentially become completely traumatized by cannabis and the impact that it's had to my family.
Hmm. How can I have a real conversation with my parents about cannabis?
I can only speak to you from my experience as a
Hmm.
parent, but my guidance would be to be completely honest and speak from your own experience. Not every parent has the same experience or background or will respond the same way. But I think most parents will respond well to complete honesty and transparency.
I agree with that.